Good Tuesday afternoon. I wanted to spend a little bit of time chatting with you all about this upcoming Friendly Light Friday blog post. So we've got school among us. We have our children going back to elementary school, middle school, and high school. Universities are starting to get geared up for the fall academic semester. We're in the midst of planning week at Elon University, and basically that's our kind of our welcome back time together. And then we have departmental meetings, committee meetings based on different service areas within the university that we are working with. What I wanted to spend a little bit of time, my focus this week is really going to be on looking at teaching and learning. And I came across a quote a couple days ago by a cartoonist named George Evans. And the quote reads, "Every student can learn, just not on the same day or in the same way." And this really stands out to me. Some of it just based on watching my mom role model this behavior of creating learning communities within her classrooms and hearing her talk about it with her colleagues and friends. My mom was a sixth grade teacher primarily, but also taught in different grades within the elementary school and middle school. And then also, I started thinking a little bit about my own personal experiences as a student, as well as how in the classroom, I really tried to figure out ways to find out what my students' strengths are, in addition to finding ways to challenge them so that they can either enhance those strengths, but also untap these hidden talents that they have or abilities that they may not be aware that they actually can do. And so if I think personally about that, I can remember when I was an undergrad taking research methods. I didn't do that well on my first test, and I was just thought, I can't do this. This is just not for me. I don't know how to do it. And I decided though, which is always a good thing, I went and talked to the faculty member and just said, I'm not really sure what the problem is. I'm studying for this. I'm not sure why it's just not connecting for me. And so I worked with some folks to kind of change some of my study habits and finding ways to learn the information. And so when I read this quote by George Evans that, students don't always learn on the same day or in the same way. And so for me, it was really, that faculty member really ignited in me the ability to see that I could still work hard and figure out how I could learn the information and not to give up. Which led to me, by the time I was in the doctoral program at Virginia Tech, I was taking 21 credit hours of just research by the time I graduated with my PhD. The other thing I always think about is, sometimes we can hear negative comments or feedback related to, oh, well, that class, all they're doing is playing and having a good time. And, I think my mom instilled that in me too, the importance of finding creative ways to learn content. And so she had, in the state of Virginia, they have standards of learning, and, you've got to teach these certain amount of things so the students can pass the test and all that. And she really wanted to take her students on a field trip to a baseball game. So she had submitted the request, and it got denied. And, the whole comment was, what are they going to learn at a baseball game? So my mom was always, a proponent of, I'm going to show you why and how it's going to happen. So she basically took the sport of baseball and connected it to pretty much every single standard of learning for math in the sixth grade and resubmitted the proposal. And you know what? She took those kids to the baseball game. So I think it's really important for faculty and teachers to create this opportunity for students to be curious. And sometimes it takes a lot of internal, intrinsic motivation for someone to be curious. But also, as faculty and teachers, we have to create the space so that they have the opportunity to be curious. If I'm going to come into the classroom and stand up and lecture for an hour and 10 minutes and an hour and 40 minutes and not engage with the students in any capacity, how am I creating opportunities for them to be curious about a topic? And so for those of you who are out there, many of you, even if you're not in a specific role of teacher or faculty, if you are a staff at a university, or maybe you are leading Sunday school at a church, whatever the environment might be. Maybe you're volunteering for an organization in the evenings. It's really important to figure out ways to ignite this curiosity, but also letting students know that, okay, let's be curious, and if it doesn't go well, then we'll try it another way. And so the opportunities to be able to fail in that perspective. So I'm really looking forward to sharing some insights about teaching and learning and this idea of, how do we ignite curiosity in others? And also, within our students, a lot of times we learn a lot from our students as well. So be curious this week. Think about how you're creating opportunities for people to be curious. It might even be in a staff meeting or a departmental meeting or in a classroom or at a volunteer experience. My emphasis will probably be strictly related to classroom, co-curricular, or curricular type experiences. But I hope you all are having a great week, and wishing all of those well that are planning and prepping and sending people to school and all those things. Have an awesome afternoon, and I look forward to sharing with you all this Friday. Okay, bye.